We are very happy to be joined today by Utah Hockey Club coach André Tourigny. Let's bring him in, Emma. No sense in waiting.
Hey,
Andre, how you
boys.
doing?
Very good
Oh,
yourself.
I was kind of hoping that you would show up in full motorcycle leathers today, honestly.
Nah, there's no chance. That was not happening. Maybe
No?
a month ago, my beard was about that long. Maybe you'll have loved that picture.
Does that picture exist actually?
Yeah, it does, but yeah, it's expensive.
I'm not getting it.
No, not a chance.
Well, let's talk about your summer a little bit because I know you like to take these motorcycle trips. We talked about this in the past. Did you have one this summer? Did you have some fun?
No, we had just more quick ride one day here and one day there in Quebec. That's what we did. I didn't go far. I stay around my. I have a the last summer we bought a place in the town where I grew up, and I'm 10 minutes from my parents, my sisters, and my friends.
Hmm.
So we spent time with the family. That's what we did.
All right. How are you settling in, Andre? Yeah, this obviously has been a whirlwind of an off season, a lot of change, but have you settled into Utah and what have you discovered about your new hometown?
It's beautiful, honestly. Like, if you talk about the bike, I have run my bike here. I have a few ride in the canyon and everything. It's beautiful. That's one. Two, the people has been amazing to us. From the people from SEG, the people from the Jazz, from the neighbor, the people around town, the people you see at a restaurant or whatever. It's been amazing. It's been, we feel welcome.
Yeah, you've got a little feel for the state with I know you were in Park City for
Yep.
development cab. That's a beautiful area as well. So you've probably gotten a good sense of the state already, huh?
Yeah, I like I said, I ride around, so I had a good feel. And the boys went at the university football, the youths a couple 2 weeks ago. So I think we are 1 hour away. I think everybody's settled. Everybody arrived a little bit earlier than usual, just to make sure that we had the feel for the city and everything. So that's we're excited to start finally.
I got to ask all the important questions, and I know Petey's going to love this question because he
yeah,
loves
that's
this
why I left this
topic.
one. I left this to you, Craig. This is not a PD question.
Does Utah have the right type of maple trees to make maple syrup, Andre?
That's sorry, but there's nothing like home, Craig. You can get the guy out of Quebec, but I'm not sure you can take Quebec out of him. So that's the syrup will become from back home for sure.
Yeah, for
Okay,
those that
so
don't
there'll
know,
be no Utah crafted. Go ahead,
Coach
Petey.
André Tourigny makes his own syrup back home in Quebec, which we've had before, and fantastic
Mhm.
syrup. But as we know, that is all you will hear me talk about syrup on the rest of the show. I promise, because I'm going to start talking about hockey.
There we
And
go.
one of the things when this franchise left Arizona, we talked a lot about the facilities. We talked about the facilities at the Mullet Arena. We talked about the facilities at your practice facility at the Ice Den in Scottsdale. Not ideal. But now the move to Utah, and you had 4 months. And when I mean you, I don't mean you, I mean Stan, had four
Yeah.
months to get two different facilities up and running. So here we are a day from the ice. Where does everything stand at the Oval? Are you guys ready for practice? And more importantly, you're a week away from your first preseason game. Where do things stand at the Delta Center?
We're close to miracle everywhere, PD. To be honest, and it's funny because we maybe an hour ago I had a long chat with Stan. He came in my office, and we just shoot the breeze here. You know, when we land end of April in Utah, we did not even know where we will practice. We didn't have a deal with an arena, so don't even think about having a plan of what will be the facility and everything. We didn't even know where, and in 4 or 5 months what they build, it's unreal. It's too bad I'm not there right now. I'm back home, but we could see our offices and the players room and everything. They put their best foot forward, and there's no doubt about it. The new practice facility will be built for next season. which that will be, it's coming. It will be unreal. And the Delta Center, it will be at the finish line, ready for next week. We're playing there Monday, but it's I saw today. I will say it's probably 75% done. But the way they work and the speed they work here, it's impressive to be honest.
And have you seen this? This is one of the things this ownership has said from the outset too. Is let's not have any excuses for this team. Let's give them what they're asking for to be successful. Is that what you've seen over the last 3 months?
Oh, that's when he said it was all in. When Ryan and Ashley said we're all in, they showed us that. Honestly, it's amazing how fast everything went and how all in on deck in the entire organization. Like I said, the people from the Jazz are crossing over all the time to help. People work weekend to sell tickets or sponsors and all of it. The energy around the team, around the organization, the energy is coming from on top through us. It's amazing.
We got guys hitting the ice tomorrow, and it's a big group, 64. That's us. That's all. Those equipment guys and medical guys have a lot of work tomorrow.
Yeah.
But this time of year, we always have to ask about who's coming into camp healthy. We had some guys last year with Hayton. We had T.J. Ginla coming into the rookie camp with some injuries. What do you look like going onto the ice tomorrow?
Well, first we'll have a few guys will be day to day. A few guys are banged up, but we want to establish our structure as quick as possible in the first 3 days. The advantage we have, everybody talk about our new player, and for sure there's key, but we have a lot of returning player as well. We have what, 17, 18 returning players, something like that. I don't know exactly the numbers, but that give us for the first time in 3 years a really good core to build around bunch of guys who know what's our system in the D zone, what our system in the breakout, what our system in every area. Having that said, we make some tweak, we'll make some change. You've been around, it's never the same than the last year, but we're not starting from the beginning. We're not starting from scratch. It will move really quickly. We'll be able to spend time. We have 2 phase. We're making major change, so we'll be able to put a little bit more time in those. But we're not starting from scratch. So even our new player, they will play with player who know how to play that structure. So we're not starting from scratch. We want to go as fast as possible. So we in the first it's 8 or 9 days of the camp, we want to go through our structure, so then we can just do a review and keep getting some reps and for the rest of the camp. So we arrive in the season and there's no thinking. We know what we're doing. It's an instinct now. We have pace and we don't have to think about, hey, where should I be? Where should I be this? Or what's that situation? We want to be in a mode where we have flow.
Andre, you mentioned some of the personnel changes late last season. Bill said that priority number one would be rebuilding this blue line, and man, did the club go out and do it. You make the trade on draft day for Mikhail Sergachev, you get John Marino, you get Ian Cole, you just added Robert Bortuzzo. Is this now a strength of the team when you look at this blue line?
No, I will say no, Craig, because if you look at our team, I like our balance, and that's where the strength is for me. If you look at the depth we have up front, it's that's deep. That's really deep. You have because you have the growth to arrive from the outside. The name you just said, and I agree, but you have the growth within. You have the young guys who will be better. You have, it's like we're talking about Michele, Keller, and those kind of guys like they were old men. They're 25, 26. Barrett, Ayton, they will grow. All those guys, there's a lot of growth from the inside. So that would be one. And I think the ad of Kevin Stanley it's an important one for us. I always use that, but hey, it speaks for itself for me. He played more minutes on the PK in average per game than the Selke winner, and he was on the same team. It has to mean something. has to mean something on a really good PK who had really good numbers. So it has to mean something, and I'm really happy to have him. For me, he's a weapon. He was good in Winnipeg the year before on a good PK, and again last year was an elite player in Florida on a good PK. So the PK was something we want to be better at. And if you look the Cole and the Bertuzzo and the Sergachev and Marino, our guys are playing ton of minutes on the PK and on championship team. So we're fortunate to for the move we made. We're grateful for what happened.
I want to talk about Sergachev a little more. You've said in the past that you like to judge players fresh when they come in, not base it on what you've seen or what you've heard. Are you taking that same approach with him? And at the same time, what's your sense of this player?
You know, it's a good point, Craig. But for me, every player go during the summer and they want to revamp themselves. They want to improve. They want to improve part or all their game or their strength or whatever. If you don't give them the opportunity to show you what they have, and you instead you take the picture you have from them from last year and you put a lid on what they want to do, boy, you don't let them grow. You need I have a duty for me as a coach to, hey, you don't start from blank page, but you start as blank as possible. Let's put it that way. Let them have room to write their own script and how much they train and how much they grow and how much they can, how much more they can help the team moving forward. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I let them talk about what's their own expectation, and then my job is to give them the opportunity to reach those expectations, and we'll go from there. So Sergey has high expectation for himself. He sees a great opportunity with our team. He put the bar really high, so it's exciting.
I wanted to talk about Marino as well. I almost feel like he's been a little bit overlooked because so much attention has been paid to Sergachev, but he's established himself as quite an NHL player in his own right. What's your read on this guy and how he can help the club?
1,000%. I think he's a kind of an unsung hero in the team. He's a guy who play well. In all the little detail defensively, he's really mobile. He has a good stick. He's on the right side. He defend well, and he's good in transition. So I think he's a perfect fit to support a guy like Sergachev. We see them playing together, and I think that will be a good fit.
You talk about players that are coming back and returning, and we're going to get a chance to talk to you during the season too more about that middle core. We can get into Keller and Krause and Schmaltz and those guys, but the guys I want to talk about next are the guys that were just getting their feet wet in the National Hockey League last year. And one of those guys was Logan Cooley, who we saw this time of year a year ago score one of the highlight reel goals of the entire season. Had a good season, but it was a learning season for him. Where do you think Logan Cooley's game is coming into his sophomore season with the Utah Hockey Club?
I think there's still a lot of growth in a sense. You know, Cools is really driven. He wants to be the best. He wants to be a dominant player. So now he's coming back for his second year. I don't know, but you've been there, Petey. What do you think he has in mind? Okay, now I'm in now. He might realize, okay, he's still pretty good, the guy on the other side. He's still the best in the
Yeah.
world. So that's just the way it is. And he's a smart kid. He knows that. But I like when the guy's excited and he wants to be dominant. I like that. You know, I like his compete level. I like he wants to be the best. And what we saw in his game last year is not, it's a lot of growth in his
Mm-hmm.
mindset, a lot of growth in his positioning, a lot of growth in his patience, a lot of growth in his managing his emotion and all of it. I think I would be dumb to say, hey, okay, now he's 20 years old, he's good to go. No, he still have growth. He will, I think, for the next 5, 6, 7 years, he will still improve. If you look at best player in the league, the guy like McDavid, they're still improving. Not it doesn't know improving is not just points. Sometimes is improving means making less point, and you're a better player. So
Well,
it's just a matter of for keeping growing every day.
Another player that's young, and we talk about the drive that Cooley had. This player had drive when he got called up from the minors and was told, because Craig and I were there, oh, he's going to be here a couple games. We'll see this kid a couple games. That's Dylan Gunther, a kid that willed himself into a full-time role, and a guy that Utah Hockey Club fans can get behind. This kid. This kid's a goal scorer. He can shoot like you can't believe. Takes the game incredibly serious. Again, if I'm a Utah hockey fan, this is the guy you need to know. You need to keep your eye on Dylan Gunther. How has his summer been, and what are your expectations from him coming into this year?
You know, I always have a say, and you've been around, guys. The first guy to know is the player. You want to know how good he is? Ask the player. You know, I had the opportunity before the camp. I went for a snack or lunch or dinner with players, and they talk about Dylan Gunter. What do you think about him? Oh, Gunter he's a great player. Yeah, okay, he can shoot the puck. Dylan Gunter is a really good hockey player who has a really good quality. He shoot the puck. He has a release like it's unbelievable. But it's not the only thing he does. He's not a shooter in term of the people see a shooter as that's what he does. No, that's not Gunner. Gunner is excellent defensively. He has great read the game. He passed the puck well. He's elite, like I said, defensively. He works hard. He does more than one thing. But he shoot the puck. Like, yes, he does.
Yeah. Speaking of guys who do a lot of things well, this guy has a pedigree, so I don't think it would be possible for him not to play the game the right way. And I know you got to know his dad very well, a guy we call Josh Doan's father. We don't name him by name anymore on this show. Josh Doan coming into this camp, he had a heck of a cameo, 11 games. I think he surprised a lot of people, but he still got his work cut out for him to make this roster. First of all, how do you view that whole situation with Josh coming into this camp?
He's much better than his dad defensively. What you talking about?
Yeah,
I
no
hope Donor
argument.
will listen to that.
No
No,
argument
but
there.
no, but seriously, Josh is a good hockey player, like you said. He does a lot of good thing, and he played the game the right way. I think when he came with us last year, he gave us a boost because he's going in the net. He's not afraid to put the work. He has a really good stick, good on the forecheck, those kind of thing. Having that said, I said that before. We have a lot of that. You know, we have a lot of that, and Josh is a young player. He needs to make a room for himself in the lineup. You know, he's not the kind of a prospect if he's not in the lineup will be beneficial for him to be around. So he will have all the opportunity. We'll play him a ton. He knows what I think of him. He knows I like him a lot. I have a ton of. Josh Doan will be a really good player for our team for a long, long time.
Okay,
Hopefully, his time is right now. Hopefully,
let's
but
talk about that a little
we'll see.
more, Andre. When you parse that, like, how do you balance? Okay, he could go to the AHL, play a lot of minutes in a lot of situations, and continue his development, or maybe he's in maybe he's in a fourth line role here, not playing the kind of minutes. I don't
He
know
can
how
do
you
that.
go ahead.
He can do that. Donor is not a. He will be a good fourth line guy. For me, that's fine. Yeah, you know, I won't talk about Gunner because we sent Gunner in the minor last year, so I don't want to use that example. 2 years ago, we had Matthias Michelli. It was
Mhm.
the same. At the camp, we were okay. Is he ready? Is he ready or is not? Chile arrived at the camp. He was one of our best players, if not our best player during the camp. Well, he answered the question. There were no question on our side. We didn't take a decision. He took the decision for us. We want Donor to do the same with us this year. He just take the decision for us, and that's easy. Then we don't want to be in the situation where we have to debate what's best for his development and what's best for the future, this and that. That is always when you leave the decision to someone else, you never know which side it will go. So I want him to do like Michelli and answer the question for himself.
All right.
It's something you brought up too about fighting for positions and fighting for spots. And I've been fortunate to go through training camp in the NHL and watch players try to compete for spots. There aren't many. And
No,
you can look going into camp and you go, oh, you start looking at numbers and guys and you go, oh my goodness, there's not a lot of spots. And are you going into this eyes wide open? 64 guys
yeah,
coming into camp. You're going, hey, if you want to stay here, prove that you want to stay here, and that goes for everybody. I mean, from
Yep.
Keller all the way down to player number 64. Do you feel like there might be one of those surprise guys this year?
Yeah, PD, for people, sometimes the translation of open means making the team or not making the team. It's that is out of their hands. And
Mm,
it's out of my hands sometimes and out of Bill's hands sometimes because there's contract, there's a lot of thing in the NHL. So that's not what they should focus on. What they should focus on is that's where I am in the depth chart in
mhm,
the organization. That's where my spot is. I want to be better. We'll give you an example. Michael Carcone.
mhm.
He plays a lot. It's a huge training camp for him. He played fourth line, 10 minutes a night, scored 20 goals. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So now he wants to move ahead of someone else so he can play 14 minutes a night and have, uh, let's say, a piece of the power play. That's it's important for him. It's not about will he
Mhm.
make the team. Come on. I
Yeah.
can't hear him play the tough guy. Oh, I don't know. Come on. He
Yeah,
will
you're
make the
right.
team. There's no question. There's no question. He proved it in the past. But okay, will he stay at 10 minutes in and out of the lineup? Or will he grow at playing 14 minutes and
Mm,
having a sniff on the power play? That's what he's fighting for. The same thing for Logan Cooley. Logan Cooley wants to be a go-to guy. Okay, will he play 16 minutes a night, or on the power play, or he will play power play and PK, and he will play 19 minutes a night? That's what he has to
mhm,
earn during the camp. The same way when we just talk about Josh Doan, or we can talk about Liam O'Brien. Liam O'Brien wants to be in the lineup every night. Boy, he needs to earn that. And now, if we go at name the player you want for the Tucson Road Runners last year, let's say Ben McCartney. Ben McCartney, even if he has a great camp 2 years ago or a year ago, that doesn't that's over. Now he's at that spot in the depth chart. He wants to climb because even if you're an AHL player and you don't make the team out of training camp, you may be the first call up because of your camp.
mm,
That's make a
mhm,
difference. You have a guy right now where during the summer you think, okay, if we have an injury at that position, here we have this guy, we have this guy. But that during the camp has to change. That's your job to say, okay, now I'm the third call up on the right wing. No, no, no. After the camp, I will want to be the first call up because that will happen. They will be call up. There will be injury. Position yourself to be the next call up. You're a junior guy. You're fighting for a contract. You don't know if we'll have a contract or what. Well, now during that camp, you may become a no-brainer. You may become okay. This guy is. We need to sign him now.
mhm.
So that's what it
Okay.
is.
PD apparently PD left all the favorite, the questions you love to talk about to me, Andre. So I'm just going to throw that out there. So I want to talk about, as PD labels it, the goaltending battle.
Yeah.
Veggie was number one out of camp last season. Connor Ingram had an all-star caliber season. Are you taking the same approach whereby we're going to need both of these guys at
Yeah.
times? One guy's going to be number one at times. Another guy's going to be number one.
Yeah. I think if you look Veggie 2 years ago, how good he was and how good Iggy was last year, that's what we want from both of them. We need every position needs to be better. Those guys, we expect growth. We expect them to keep getting better, and that's what we want. So we need those two. We need those two healthy. Uh, we think Higgy was phenomenal last year. We expect no less this year.
I want to talk about something besides goaltending. I want to talk about systems because that's what I love about this game is systems. And I've talked to you about systems, and I watch systems all day. It's my love of the game. And one of the things I watched win the Stanley Cup this year was defensive play. And the
Yep.
Florida Panthers, all three zones defended while smothered teams got on top of them. When you look and build your system file for the summertime and
Yep.
you look at other teams, do you look to the playoffs? Do you look to the Florida Panthers? Do you
Oh,
look to the teams that are successful and go, I like this, but I'd like to tweak it a little bit? And
yep.
are those changes going to show up on this team over the next, 9-10 days?
Oh yeah, it will. No doubt about it. And yes, you don't. if you just look at your team, I think you're missing on something. We all know hockey is you steal from everybody. There's no secret. That's the way you grow. That's the way you get better. So we did now with the advanced stats, you go even farther than in your time. Well, we did in all three zone, every system. We example there. Let's say talk about the D zone. There's a hybrid D zone. There's a man-on-man D zone. The zone coverage. Which teams play what? Okay, let's say there's 19 play that system, 12 play that system, and 7 play the other, whatever the number. And we look all the stats from there. Okay, the team who play in hybrid, how good are they on cutting the pass from the slot? How good they are from giving goals against or expected goals against? How good are they on takeaways and stuff like that? On possession, time against, and versus one versus the other. So we not just evaluate with our eyes, our naked eyes, our feelings. We have numbers. Okay, that's the
Mm-hmm.
numbers for the D zone. That's number for the hybrid. That's the number of man on man. The pros and the counts, and we go like that in every system. So it's not just about saying, "Oh, we like the way we play that structure." No, no, no. It's more in depth than that. And then from there, okay, Florida are good in neutral zone. Okay, what are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
The number doesn't tell you that. You just tell you they're
Mm-hmm.
good. They're good. That doesn't tell you what they
Yeah.
are good at. So now
Yeah.
the work starts. The easy part is to have our high performance and analytic group bring the numbers. Okay, now we need to dig in, and we we the staff did a really good job. We dig in hard this summer. We really proud of the boys.
Do you want to give us any hints to maybe some of the tweaks that you've made?
Well, you will see it quick enough, but we will
I
be
got to
more
take
aggressive
notes.
on our forecheck, no, more
Mhm.
aggressive on our neutral zone forecheck. Uh, we simplify a few things in our D zone, and we'll put a lot of emphasis on our box out and stuff like that, which again, bunch of numbers came out from analytic where there's some trigger points we need to not just us as a team be better, but in the league, that's really what's make the difference. So we will be a little bit more focus on those.
Just to be clear, this exhaustive research and tweaking is something you do every summer, right?
Yeah,
You've told
yeah,
me this in the past where
yeah,
you've got tons and tons, sheets and sheets of notes.
yeah. You know what? For me, it's sometimes when people don't know me, they think I'm second guessing everything. Well, for me, it's not negative. I'm not second guessing. I'm making sure we're not forgetting something. We're not missing something. It's too easy to get in that job to get in the comfort zone and say, "Thing, oh, I like the way we play D zone." It's not about if you like it or not. That's that. We're not in the love business. It's about what's the result, what's the new trend in the league. Who, eh, 5 years ago, there were no pressure in neutral zone as much. It was all about closing the red line and so on and so forth. Now it's all about pressure and making sure the offense doesn't have time to organize. You need to stay on top of the new trend and be ahead of it. But if you're sleeping on those details and you feel too good about yourself, that doesn't work. You need to get at it. There's a lot of staff, there's a lot of good coach in that league, and everybody work hard. So you cannot fall behind and feel too good about yourself. That won't work.
All right, perhaps your favorite topic that I asked you about at least a dozen times last year, and this was coming from the fans. In fairness to me, Andre, what about the captaincy this season? I hear that you're discussing the captaincy
Yeah,
this season. That okay? Can you give us
but
any
not
insight?
not this season. That's a topic we talk all the time. You know,
Yeah.
and I said that before. For
Mhm.
me, a captain, Craig and Petey think they know who's the captain. The fans think they know who's the captain. The owner thinks he knows who's the captain. The GM thinks he knows who's the captain. The coach thinks he names the captain, and the player thinks they choose a captain. When all of those people have the same name, then we have a captain.
Yeah.
That is one thing. Two, now when you're a captain, you need to be ready. There's responsibility, there's role, there's actual action you need to take. And people think it's a press conference. That's in the bottom of the thing. That don't worry about that. If you're capable of being captain, there's a chance you can handle the press conference. I'm not worried about that. It's how will you conduct yourself if you're 6 game without producing your -4 in 6 game, but there's a situation in the team where you need to step up and do what you have to do. Will you be comfy enough to do it? And I'm not a believer of, oh, this 21 years old guy will be a great
Mhm.
captain. We'll put him captain right away. No, that's not my philosophy. The other team does that. I don't judge. They do their thing the way they think it should be. For me, okay, we think he will be. Let him grow, and when he will be ready, he will be captain. Don't worry about it. But if you're captain, for me, you're ready to be captain. Not because you will become. No, you are. You are our captain. We don't do a press conference to say, hey, you know what? In 3 years, Craig Morgan will be our captain. That's not the way. If you are, you are. So that's the way I see it. So we're talking. We have guys. We think we have the right personnel. It's just a matter of timing and keeping growing and having answers all those situation question, and we have a fluid discussion on that.
Okay. Thanks for answering that for the 40th time. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Andre, Bill has been very clear about expectations for season 4 of the rebuild. He's looked at numbers. He's looked at the data, the past, and said it's not a lot of teams get into the playoffs, but often GMs and coaches have a different view on this by nature. I think you have to, because a
Yeah,
lot of times for the coach and the players, it's about the here and now. What are your
yeah.
own expectations for this team? And is this team playoff worthy?
That's that. Okay, I won't answer that because that is in 3 lifetime ago. We have 82 fight before we get there. So why will I focus on the fight number 83? We have to be ready for the practice tomorrow. That's what I know.
Mm,
And we need to be the best we can be at the practice tomorrow so we can go at day 2, etc., etc. The goal is for me is to perform and improve every day. There's no way we can make the playoff if we look at game 83. That's the least of my worry right now. We need to be ready for game 1. That is the focus for now. And how to do that is to have the best day in the league tomorrow. Tomorrow we need to be the team who improve the most. And that it's a challenge because there's 32 other good team, good coach, good player who wants to win the day tomorrow. So tomorrow
mm.
we have a hell of a competition. So
Yeah,
bring that back to that. And if we do that every day, we will be happy at the end.
Coach,
And
a lot of
good thing will happen.
a lot of our people watching the show are commenting on they'd run through a wall for you. My gosh, I didn't know he was this good. And I want people to understand in Utah that haven't heard the coach speak before. This is real. This is who he is. I mean, this is a guy that builds relationships with his players first, and the X's and O's part is part of that. But it's the relationships that gets him where he is. Coach, I'm watching you and I'm excited because I think you look excited, and it was hard. Your last few seasons, you go through the challenges that a head coach had that most coaches don't have, where you're talking about arenas and facilities and are we moving, are we not, and the stresses that you had to keep outside of your locker room every single day. Well, this is new. It's a clean slate. It's a new ownership. It's a new franchise. And you look energized. What's that emotion like tomorrow? Different colors, different sweater, different rooms. Is it a clean slate for André Tourigny?
Oh, I'm dying to start, Petey. I'm dying to start.
Yeah, I can
Player
tell.
better to be ready tomorrow because the bear will buzz around for sure. I was
Yeah.
I was I was joking with them today. I was saying, "Oh, be ready for the bark tomorrow, boys." No, but in the good ways. I'm not.
Yes.
I won't be any different than I am, but I like people with passion. I like to have energy every day. Every time I see you guys, it's fun to be. It's fun to be at the ring. It's fun to be around the coach, the player. I like that. But that don't get me wrong. When the chip are down, the teddy bear become the grizzly bear in no time. It's for me. There's the people and there's the business. There's totally different. When we're in people environment, we take care of the people. When the chip are down in this business, no, there's no prisoner. There's a job to do, and there's no feeling about that. That's what we have to do, and that's the job, and get the job done. That we're well paid, with the best. We're living the best life on this planet. We're we're in hockey business. We're professional. We eat like there's no tomorrow.
You're
There's
never hungry.
we're treated best hotel, best traveling, best job, best group of guys. What you want more than that? You just have to work. So I'm so excited for tomorrow. I can't wait.
Andre, we cannot thank you enough for taking time. I know this is really busy right now. You just had media day. It's been a crazy day. So thank you for carving some time out of your day. Good luck to you this season. Really looking forward to seeing you up there for the season opener.
Thank you, guys. I miss you already. Looking forward to talk to you again.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
We all silly like the mayor.